Hello, hello, hello. My name is Cedric,
And I'm Donnell.
and this is Yeah, We Said It, a podcast dedicated to all things tennis related. We venture to stand out boldly as we discuss your favorite player and the entire 411 or lack thereof surrounding them. No competitor, result, or wig is safe. Get ready to laugh because we're here, and yeah, we said it. How you doing today, Donnell?
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. What's up?
Not much. I working hard, doing a lot of stuff, but I'm having fun with all of it. And this is a really exciting time for both of us starting this podcast. We've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah, quite a while.
So it's fine. It's good to finally get it started and get it on the move.
Whew. Let's get down to it.
All right, so women's draw first, right? But we're gonna go through a little bit of news.
Okay.
Um, so let's talk about Francis Tiafoe. So he won that tournament in Delray Beach. That was his first big tournament win. He beat several good players, went through Delpo and Chung and some really, really good players to win that title. How do you think that's going to work out for him as far as going into Indian Wells and going forward from there?
Well, I think he got a good draw in Indian Wells. He plays. I think he pronounced it Escobedo, another young American. But I hope that this title propels him into bigger and better things. Talked a lot about finally having this off of his back and being able to play a little bit more freely. And I hope that really works out for him because it's been a long time coming. His record on tour before those successful 2 weeks he just had was abysmal.
Right. It was good to see him make that first quarterfinal and then like add on to that the very next week and actually do even better. I mean, it would have been good for him to just make another quarterfinal or a semifinal considering his record, but then to go all the way to the title, I thought that was pretty great.
Right, right. And got some quality scouts on the way too.
Yeah, so I hope he can. I'm just like you. I hope he can do some great things moving forward, and maybe take some chances with this draw. He's in a good little section, so maybe he can make some noise here. Um, and if he doesn't, Miami is right around the corner.
Yeah. I'll get another shot soon enough.
Yeah. So let's see who else. Vika and Serena are back. The two mommies are both back. I'm super happy, of course, for Serena. I'm also very, very happy for Vika. I mean, they've both been through a lot of stuff in the last couple of years. So it's really crazy. It's good to see them back.
Yeah, she's very happy to be back, and she's see a lot of her Instagram and Snapchat stuff. She can't wait to get out there. I can't wait to see how she looks. She's every time I see her in her exhibitions and the makeup and stuff, each time so far she's looked a little bit better each go.
Yeah.
And I think putting her in an actual match situation in real competition, it'll kind of wake things up even more. So I'm looking forward to see that. With Vika, I'm really looking forward to see how she does. Because she hasn't played since Wimbledon, I think, last year. And I feel like I think she might only be playing this tournament because it's in California where her son and stuff is at, where she's dealing with all this stuff. So we'll see. Hopefully she'll be able to, continue traveling and playing for the rest of the year. I don't want to see her play this tournament and then have to, keep pulling out of more stuff for the rest of the year because all of this stuff with her no good baby dad is not settled.
I agree with that. I'm hoping for the best for her. Personally, if I see her baby daddy just out on the street, we're gonna have some words. Because I'm not cool with him, and I really like Vika, and I support her. I mean, things have changed because a few years ago, might have been a little different, but I mean, we really like her now. We support her, and she seems to be a good person, and she seems to be really needed on the tour because I mean, outside of Serena, I mean, she's been one of the most consistent players on the tour in the last several years. So I mean, it's good to have her back just for the game, really. Not even just as a fan of her personally, but as just a fan of women's tennis in general.
I agree. I agree.
Okay, so let's talk about the injuries and all the people who are out, mostly on the men's side. We have some big names that are not playing this tournament because of injuries and different stuff. And it's so early in the year to talk about injuries, but it seems like right from the start in Australia, there were people who were injured and not playing, especially on the men's side. So there's Rafa, your fave, is not playing. Um, you want to talk about that injury a little bit that happened in Acapulco?
Yeah, I think it's a hip injury this time,
I think
which
so.
it kind of worries me because if it was his knee again, or if it was his wrist again, I think I would be a little bit, easier about it because he's dealt with that before and he's come through with it. And if it was his knee, I feel like, he was just taking a lot of precautions and stuff. But this hip thing, I'm not sure how bad it is. He pulled out a Miami as well.
Right.
So I just hope that he can, rest up and rehab and, whatever he needs to do to be ready for the clay because got a lot of points to defend.
Yeah, and hip injuries, that's weird. I don't think he's ever had anything like that before, but hip injuries are like they linger. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that it's not that big of a deal and maybe he's just like, thinking, well, these two tournaments aren't super duper necessary and I can just already get ready training for the clay so he can have a strong clay season. Hopefully that's where his mindset is and it's not as serious as it seems at the moment.
Yeah, I would hope that's where his mindset is, but I don't think so because we know Ralph is not one to take things off his schedule. Even though he should, he plays way too much, especially when it comes to the hard courts and stuff like that. And he does a lot of complaining about hard court surfaces and how long the season is, but he refuses to shorten his schedule, so it kind of voids all his complaints. And since he's never been one to really minimize his schedule, I just don't feel like that's what this is. I think he really just can't play because he's actually hurt, and I hope it's not too bad.
That's a very good point, actually. I didn't even think about that in terms of like what he usually does with his schedule. So that's a really good point. We have Stan Wawrinka out still. He came back and played a little bit. I don't know if that was the best choice, but he did it, and now he's out again.
Yeah, he played Melbourne, right?
He did, but he lost. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah, and then
his.
he
Yeah,
made the semifinals somewhere else, another like a smaller tournament that just
right,
passed a few weeks ago, and now his knee is still hurt. So he probably should have he should probably be just now coming back to the tour instead of
right.
trying to play in Australia and these other events that he did. He tried to rush his comeback and he might have just made things worse.
I did see where he said that it wasn't like the same knee pain as what caused him to have the surgery. It was just like I don't know. It seemed odd that he described it as like a different pain. I guess maybe he was trying to downplay the injury a little bit and
Yeah,
just
because
like
he did say like it's something about it not being that serious, but if it's
right,
keeping you off the court,
right,
so long, like back to back, all these tournaments that you keep having to pull out, it sounds pretty serious to me.
right. I would agree with that. I hope he can come back soon too, because I mean he's not the most consistent of players, but when he's on his day, he's. I mean, it's great to see him against the other top players and really making some noise because he can hit with the best on his day. We have Goffin still out with the same eye injury. That's crazy to me because it seems like it was long enough ago where something like that would have healed, but he says it's still a problem for him.
Yeah, he really must have got beamed. That shit
I
looked like
can't
it hurt.
imagine. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever been hit in the eye like that, but I mean, and then Dimitrov hit that ball really fast too, so I can't imagine.
I hope he can come back from Miami. I really like him.
Yeah, um, yeah, I hope so too. We have Songa out. Songa is still out. I watched him in the match where he injured himself, and I did not know what happened even while watching the match live. He was cruising in that match, and then all of a sudden he was super injured and he could barely walk, and his opponent, I think his opponent was Pui, had to carry his bags off court for him. It was very odd. So, and he's still out.
Yeah, that's another knee injury. I don't know what's going on with these guys and their bodies falling apart like this. I mean, I know a lot of them are, I guess, advanced in age, you could say in tennis terms, but for all these injuries to be piling up like this, it's insane.
And so early in the season.
Seriously, because Gasquet is out as well, and he's out with a knee injury too.
Wow. See, I was going to ask about that. I wasn't sure what his injury was. Knee injuries, yeah, especially on hard courts. That's a thing for real. So many hard courts. Um, yeah. So that kind of, I guess that sums up the injuries. You want to talk about anybody else's injuries? I'm sure there's some more players.
Um, Lucy Stafarova, she's out with injury,
Wow.
and Lucic Baroni is too. I'm 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 not sure what their injuries are, but they both had to withdraw.
It's
And Halep
unfortunate.
is she's playing, but she's carrying a foot injury, and I just read something about Sharapova having a neck injury or something, but she's
Amen.
playing. She's playing as well, but she's playing as well. So we'll see how that works for her.
She went from, never mind. I'm just let that one go. And we're gonna move on to the women's draw. I have not that many notes about the women's draw. It's just part of it is just everything being so up in the air, and none of these girls are very don't they lack consistency. So it's just you just don't know what's gonna happen. For me, I you look at the first section, Hollop being the first seed. You mentioned that she was coming in with a foot injury, but she is the number one seed here. I think for me personally, I think she has a pretty easy going of it early. So if she is coming in with an injury, I don't think she'll be super duper tested early on. I saw where she could possibly have Sibylkova in the third round, but Sibylkova has been struggling for a while, it seems.
Yeah, like when's the last time she won a match? I haven't even seen her do anything in
Yeah,
quite a while.
it's been pretty rough ever since after she won the year in championships a couple of years ago. It's been a pretty rough go ever since, unfortunately for her.
Yep.
I know there's Ostapenko in that section. Svetlana Kuznetsova is in that section. Uh, Konta is in that section. Those are all in the same quarter as Halep. Bencic is in that section. She won today 7-6 in the third. But like I said, it doesn't seem that challenging of a section to me for Halep, especially on this. This seems to be the type of slower hardcourt surface that would suit her game anyway. So I don't see her having problems early on.
No, I don't think she'll have too much trouble. And if her unless her foot is actually really bothering her, like messing with her movement, because her movement is definitely one of her biggest strengths. So if she can't move as well, then she might have trouble out the gate because she plays Pliskova's sister.
Okay, yeah,
So
I saw where she won today.
if she if she uh if she can blast her off the court a little bit, then it might be a problem. If Simona can't defend as well as she normally would, and
True.
but other than that, outside of that, I don't really see too many problems for her either. Konta hasn't really been playing that great, but
No,
I mean, I guess she could. I guess she could get hot. Kuznetsov, I don't see her doing very much anything.
no.
Ostapenko hasn't been doing anything for like all season. She gets Bencic right out the gate. Bencic has been playing pretty well.
Yeah.
So if she can keep it together, then Ostapenko might lose in her opening match.
Danger, danger for Ostapenko. And not just in terms of this tournament, but uh, as far as her year is going, she's going to have to try to get something started because her French Open defense is not that far away.
Nope, she better get it together fast.
The next quarter of the draw is the three seed Garbine Muguruza.
Draw loser. She was the draw loser here. She got it. She got it a little harder than anybody else, I would say.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. There's a lot of really tough players in her section, and some of the most informed players right now are in her section.
Yep. So she opened against Vickery, who just beat Bouchard.
Right.
Sasha's been playing all right, but you know how she can lose to anybody on any given day. Um, and then her Muguruza's third round would be well, if you went by seedings, it would be Radwanska, but Radwanska would have to play the winner of Osaka and Sharapova.
Exactly.
And we'll see how that goes. Osaka Sharapova, that's a match I'm really looking forward to.
Yes, I think a lot of us are looking forward to that match. I'm hoping Naomi can make some noise. That would be nice to see. I will be
Me too.
watching.
A whole lot of noise, like blow
Yeah.
her off the court noise. That's what I want.
I think whoever comes out of that match will beat Radwanska. Radwanska has been struggling for a long time.
Yep.
And yeah, the seating I saw by her name. I was still, even in knowing that she's been struggling, I was still shocked to see such a low number by her name. But then you think about it, and she really hasn't done anything for quite some time. So
Yes.
I don't see her meeting Muguruza in the third round.
Yeah, I think she's been struggling since she won the year-end championships as well.
She went. When was that?
That was Aga won in 2016. I don't know. Hold on, let me check.
20.
2015.
It had to be 2015. I think Sibylkova won 2016.
Sibylkova won 2016. Okay.
So maybe 2015.
Yeah, I
Can't
think it was 2015.
can't be any earlier because Serena was winning before that. So
Yep, 2015 is when she won.
okay. See, I did not remember that at all. Good memory on you. Um, who else is okay? So also in this quarter of the draw, there's Coco Vandeweghe, there's Barty, there's Petra Kvitova, and the well, I wouldn't say the better Pliskova, but the higher ranked Pliskova. They're all in this quarter with Garbine and Muguruza. So that's a pretty tough draw. There will be some very popcorn matches to come out of that section. That's the good part. That's the good part about it.
Yeah. Uh, I don't. Kvitova is riding a 13-match win streak right now.
Go ahead, girl.
The longest win streak of her career is 14 matches. So if she beats Putin-Sava, then she'll equal her career best win streak. But she does not. She doesn't fare well in North America. So I'm not sure how well she'll do. Maybe she might be able to take some confidence and momentum from the tournaments that she's won. But we'll see. The conditions just don't agree with her at all.
I'm rooting for her, but I mean, you just really never know with her. It's everything is always open there. Even when she's playing well, it's just like at any time it can go awry. She's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
Uh, the next quarter is Svitolina. Okay, so some people aren't gonna like this, particularly because we have both Williams sisters in this section. But I personally think this is the easiest quarter of the draw.
You think so?
I do because, first of all, I mean, both Williams sisters are in the draw, but I mean, you have Serena who's coming back from all this time off. Then you have Venus, so they can meet each other in the third round, assuming they both get there. I'm not worried. I'm really not worried about Venus actually because I mean she's got to bye first round anyway, and then she plays either Kirstea or Nicolescu to get to the third round. So if she meets Serena in that third round, they're both. I mean that's somebody that's one Williams sister out by the fourth round at the very least. So
Right.
then who else is in this section after you take out the Williams sisters?
You got Svitolina and Keys. That's it.
That's it. I did write down that Gergis was also in this section. She's been
Yeah.
playing pretty well, and she also has a 2-0 record against Vitolina. both matches being last year. I
Oh
did
wow,
write
I
that
know that.
down. But I mean, that's super duper it. I mean, I think this is, I really do. I think this is the easiest section. I wrote down that Svitolina could possibly play Carla Suarez Navarro in the third round, but Carla hasn't particularly been hot lately either. Um, I mean, that's really it. Just
I'm banking on the casual queen Shea Sue to take Suarez Navarro out.
I would bet on that. Yeah, I would. Yeah,
Seriously, as long as she's not too tired. She had to come through qualies, but I think she should be all right. Hope she can make a little bit of a run because I had a blast watching her in Melbourne.
I also wrote down Taylor Townsend is in this section. She plays Danielle Collins first round. I'm not super familiar with Danielle Collins, but that's another American player. So,
I
um,
looked it up. I think Townsend is 2-0 against this girl.
well, good on that. So,
She would get Madison Keys in the second round. That would be interesting.
I would watch that.
I would too. Madison
Yeah,
will blow her off the court, though. I tell you that.
yeah, yeah. That's probably gonna happen. And then the last quarter of the draw is our number 2 seed, who probably should still be number one, Caroline Wozniacki.
Yeah. Uh Let me see. So she played Carol. She played Dubai and Doha, right?
Let's see. I didn't write down this stuff. Hold on. Let me look. She did. She did. She's had some sort of unnecessary losses after Australia. But yeah, she did play those both of those two events.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess she got an easy enough draw. I would say. I
Yeah,
see her making. I see her getting to at least the quarters.
same. I wrote down she had I don't know how to pronounce that girl's name. Contivate is that's close enough. She can meet Sis in the third round. Um, I wrote down that there's the Vika Heather Watson first round, so that's a match to watch. They're in that section, and the winner of Vika Heather Watson will play Sloane. So that's kind of something to watch. And um, they could also, whoever comes out of those two matches could possibly see Katakina in the third round. But that was all I had as far as notable matches in that section. Caroline Garcia, Daria Gavilova, and Angie Kerber are also in that section. So, and Angie's been playing pretty well. She's doing a lot better at the start of this year.
And we
So
cannot leave out defending champion Elena Vesnina.
I
She is also
can.
in this section. It's so funny. I keep forgetting that she won the tournament, but I'm not sure. I don't think she's done anything else since then, and I really don't think she's done anything this year. So I see, she'll. I'm about to say I see her making a third round, but she could get Bellis in her, first round, and I could definitely see CC taking her out.
I could see that.
So
What
yeah,
is she
Vesnina
seated?
Vesnina got a little tough. Who Vesnina?
Yes.
Yeah, she's 24 seed. She gets a bye into the second round.
Hmm.
So she would get Bellis in round two if Bellis can come through her first match, and then she would get Kerber in the third. And
Oh.
she's no way she's getting through Kerber if she makes it there.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, Caroline Garcia. I see. I think I see Garcia versus Kerber in that fourth round.
Popcorn.
And Wozniacki, I'm not sure who she'd play.
You know what? And see, I wrote down that this was Wozniacki's section, and I didn't write a single thing about Wozniacki.
Like Sloan finally won a couple matches, but I don't think that's enough to bank on to try to give her a run here. Um, I don't even know who to pick between Vika and Watson. Vika beat her last time they played, which was at Wimbledon last year. But
But
she's been gone for a while. But
yeah,
Watson also ain't that great. So
Watson's been gone for a while too, hasn't she?
has she?
I think
I don't
so.
know.
I don't know. We never see her except Wimbledon anyway, so I really don't know.
Right. Wimbledon, Hobart.
Yeah, that's it. Um, so I actually wrote down Simona Halep as my winner for this tournament,
I would agree with that. I think we might be on our way to another Halep Wozniacki final.
which I will not watch. I'm sorry, can't. And
That
I've
Australian Open final was really good though. Did you see that?
I did. I watched it and I was super duper happy for Caroline, but I don't know if I'm gonna watch it again, especially not on this super slow hardcore. I just don't know.
Oh, Indian Wells is really insufferable when it comes to the course speed.
It is, and the finals always seem to be windy too. Uh, I just I'm good. I might skip it. The only way I'll
Yeah,
probably
I feel
watch the
you.
final is if there's a Williams there, which is me 100% of the time anyway. So.
Yep.
mm, it feels weird for me to pick Simona Halep because I've literally never picked her to win anything before. But like I said, I mean, she got that easy section, and I don't know. I think the foot injury probably isn't a big deal because it seems to me personally like she's always. I think that's her way of downplaying pressure is to say that she has an injury coming in because I feel like she always has an injury coming into a big
Right. You hear that a
tournament.
lot.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden here she is in the latter round, still here, holding on. So, yeah, I'm not believing the hype on that one, and I'm calling her winner.
Yeah, I think she will. Yeah, you know what, that foot injury can't be much anything because she's in the doubles draw too.
Look at that. Everybody should be in that doubles draw. I mean,
Yeah,
money.
a whole $1 million bonus if you sweep. But check this out. Only two people have completed the sweep, and that was Davenport in '97
Yeah.
and Zvonareva in 2009.
Zavana Rava.
Yeah,
The Davenport one doesn't surprise me because Lindsay had hands, and I mean the volley hands. Um, so it doesn't surprise me. I didn't. Savannah Ray is a pretty good doubles player too, so I can't take that away from her.
yeah. I
Um,
just didn't know she won this title in singles.
yeah, I don't remember that at all. But that was back when we didn't watch Indian Wells, so we can't
Right, right.
we can't be blamed for that. All right, so I guess that's it for the women's draw. We want to move to the men.
Yep.
So of course our number one in the world once again, Roger Federer. I do not think he will be tested early, per usual. But I'm interested to see him play Filip Krajinovic if they meet in the third round.
I don't know anything about that guy.
uh, he made noise. He made it to the final of was it Paris indoors? It was one of the big tournaments at the end of the year last year, and he like came in and made it all the way to the final, like just out of nowhere. So he's a pretty good player. I think he's still pretty young. Um,
Yeah, it was the Paris Masters.
okay, yay for
He
my
lost to Jack
memory.
Sock.
Ugh, okay. I also wrote down that some of
Oh, he's 26. He ain't that young.
oh, he's young though, because that's our age. We're young.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I also wrote down that some of Roger's main hoes, excuse my French, are in this section. Manarino, Fognini, Burditch. That's Fed's main bitch right there. They're all in this section. He has something and love records against both Manarino and Fognini. Uh, I mean, I don't know. It. I did write down. This is not about Roger though. That I would like to see Hyun Chung make some noise, maybe get past Burdich. He's in the same little section as Tomas Burdich, so maybe he can do something there. I think, honestly, I would probably rather see Chung against Roger than Burdich because we just already know how that's gonna go, and
Right.
we don't need to watch that. They don't even need to go on the court. Like if they have to play each other, just send Fed on to the next round. The dude hasn't beat him in so long, hasn't even challenged him in the last several years. So I don't. There's no point in that. Um, Dominic Thiem is in this section. He's 16-3 on the year, which I actually sort of thought his record was worse. I feel like he's had more losses, but that's probably just my own personal frustration peeking out. And he does have one title. Um, yeah, but then he's also, I mean, he had Verdasco straight up bodied him in Rio, bageled him and everything, and then Delpo did pretty much almost the same thing in Acapulco the next week. So you really don't know about him. This court is slower, so maybe that'll help. Uh,
I
but
don't know.
yeah,
We'll see. I have no faith in Tim when it comes to hard courts,
no,
so I don't see him making too much noise here. If Shaqo can come through, then I could see Dennis taking him out in round three.
I did write that down
Um,
too.
but I don't see even if he makes it all the way through there, I don't see him getting out of the fourth round. Whether he plays Chung or Burdich, I don't see him making it out of that.
I don't either.
Seriously, so I almost want to. I think I want to say it'll be a Chung Federer quarterfinal.
That'd be cute. I'm here for it. The next section. What do I have? No, that's not right. Oh, anyway, my bad. I had a small error. Um, the next section is Dimitrov. Uh, I personally am a little bit disappointed in Grigor. He's 10-3 on the year with 0 titles. He's had some very unnecessary losses. He lost to Kyrgios in Brisbane, which was Kyrgios actually ended up winning that tournament. But then he lost to Kyle Edmund in Australia. He got straight up embarrassed by Roger Federer in Rotterdam, and then went and lost to Jaziri in Dubai. So I, I'm I don't want to say he's taken steps backwards just yet because we're still early on in the year, but I'm sure this is far from the start he would like to have. Coming into 2018, he came into this year at what, like number 3, I think. So he's not really having the results that I'm sure he would want to have at this point.
Yeah, he better get it together though because he could get Verdasco in his opening match, and
Yes,
Verdasco he like to punch people out.
right,
So
especially the top players.
yeah, so we'll see if Grigor can come through that. If he can come through that, then he get probably get Rublev in the third round, which
Right,
would prove to be another tough one for him,
exactly.
and maybe Bautista Agut in the fourth round, which would be another one. So
Bautista Good is
he needs
in
to wake up.
form. Yeah, yeah, he's gotta do something here sooner or later, and especially while we're still on hard courts. I mean, he's great on all surfaces, but hard courts are probably his best surface. So I would think he would want to do something at these big tournaments and try to, um, put these some of these losses that he shouldn't have had behind him, and maybe do well at these two big events. Um, Kyrgios is in this section, back from injury with his right elbow, hasn't played since Davis Cup. Um, yeah, so what do you think about him? Do you think he's gonna do anything? You think he's gonna punch somebody in the face or get in an argument or anything?
If he's feeling good, put it like this: if he's feeling good, he should make it through his section. He should make it to the quarterfinals because none of these guys here should be even Kevin Anderson, who's the number 7 seed.
Right.
Kira should make it through all of these dudes, but I don't know. Like I don't see any huge names sticking out at me that would make him wake up and really want to take somebody's head off. Because yeah, he's one of the, one of the players that needs a big face across the net for him to really
Right.
kind of get things going. I don't see that happening for him throughout this. But if he's feeling good, he should by all respects, be able to get through this.
I agree
Seriously,
with that completely.
like we
Hmm.
should have a Kyrgios Dimitrov quarterfinal, but I'm probably feeling more of a Bautista Agut and maybe Kevin Anderson quarter.
Yep.
No, Karen Kashnikov is in there too.
I did write him down. I didn't say his name because I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I did write him down.
I think I said it wrong, but whatever.
We all know. We know. It's all right. The next section, Sasha Zverev. Also not quite having the greatest of seasons right now. 8-3 on the year with zero titles. Outside of Davis Cup, he did win both of his matches, I believe, at Davis Cup right after Australia. He hasn't played well. Uh, I personally, and we talked about this before, I think he's in a little bit of a sophomore slump. I think it was early onset. His last title was in Toronto last year before the U.S. Open, and after he won Toronto last year, he went 9-9 through the rest of the year, and now he's 8-3 so far this year. So, what do you think about Sasha's chances here, and I mean going forward, really?
I think he got a good draw here. I think he should be able to play his way into this a little bit. He could possibly get Roundage third round.
Hmm.
Most likely to happen if Roundage is playing well. If he's feeling good, because I know he's been dealing with some injuries and stuff like that. But Milos, he would get a quarter. He would get a qualifier in his first match, so it should be easy enough on him. But I think Zverev should be able to take him out, and he would get Schwartzman in the fourth round, which could be tough. But I see Zverev coming through this. Hopefully, at least I got my fingers crossed. He's one of my favorite of the next gen, so they say. But I I I want him to come through, but he hasn't had that many good results this year, like at all for real. So I don't know. His first round will be against Suso or Usni, and I'm sure he can dispatch both of them. But
Let's hope
we'll see.
so. Yeah. And we talked about Francis Tiafoe. He's also in this section.
Yeah, he would get Lopez if he gets through his first round. He gets Lopez in the second,
Lopez doesn't do well off grass, and this is a slow hard court. So come on, Francis.
and then possibly Jack Sock in the third round. If Jack can come through, he been dropping some unnecessary matches too.
Amen.
I ain't mad at it though.
Yeah, not at all. Um, the final quarter of this draw um, is Marin Cilic, the number 2 seed. So the first thing I wrote down for this section is Marin Cilic is number 3 in the world. What?
Wait, when did this happen?
I don't know. Uh, I I really don't. I'm a little bit before. I mean, I know he has 2 slam finals to his name right now.
He did
Um,
just make the Australian Open final, didn't he?
yeah, and then he made the
Wow.
Wimbledon final last year. Yes,
Yep.
so that's better results than some of these other boys who are now behind him in the rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I guess that's why Grigor was up there at number 3, but he ain't been doing shit. So there you go.
Yeah. Grigor, what does Grigor rank like 4 now? 5?
I He's got to be 4, right?
I think he's number 3 seed here. I think he's number 4. Yeah.
That's got to be right. Yeah, cause yeah, it's just because Rafa's out.
Yep.
But I mean, even still, it's shocking to see Marin Cilic name that high. I didn't think we would ever see that. No disrespect to him. Um, yeah, but good job for him. It's pretty cool being number 3 in the world.
I mean, I guess.
So Novak is in this section. He gets a qualifier in the second round, and yeah, possibly Kei Nishikori in the third round, who's also on the comeback trail. Kei won the Dallas Challenger earlier this year, and then he lost to Kevin Anderson at the New York Open and Shapovalov in Acapulco. Those are
Not bad
respectable
losses.
losses, yeah.
Yeah.
But that'll be interesting, especially if Novak and Kei do meet in that third round match. That would be interesting to see since both of them are coming back.
Yeah, I still feel like it's too early for Djokovic to be coming back because he just had a surgery not so long ago. So he I mean he must be ready if he's gonna, well, you know what, I can't say that because he wasn't ready in Australia and he played anyway.
I think he's hard headed because he's been doing this for a few years now, where he's not really where he should be and he's not ready, but he's going ahead and playing anyway. And everybody can't beat Serena, so I
Wait a
think.
second, Ferrer is seated. How,
Oh yeah, he's the low seed, but
what?
he's seeded.
I didn't even know he got his ranking back up like that.
Up, it's down. Ooh,
I thought he fell lower than that though, because I haven't seen him anywhere doing anything. Like I thought he felt like he wasn't seated in places because his ranking was so low.
okay. So we're gonna pause right here because my eggplant parmesan is ready.
Okay.
Okay, but we were talking about Ferrer. I'll be right back.
All right.
So while I am taking a break in the kitchen, Donnell and I decided that it would be a great time for you to hear from our sponsors. These are sponsors who chose to support us, and we hope that you will choose to support them just as you support us because they support us. So please listen to the following announcements.
Listen up, ladies. Your man got them beaver teeth, look like he could build you a dam in the motherfucking Indian Ocean? Does he have a body like Channing Tatum and a voice like Pee Wee Herman? Do his chest hairs look like ground beef or his feet like mini machetes? Well, do I have news for you? Get him beat. We'll have your man picking up his dirty drawers and popping his own blackheads in no time, and for only $20 a month. We specialize in taking your boyfriend, fiance, husband, or ball and chain from tolerable to lovable, or your money back. So bring him over to one of our stores, located all over the country, and leave his ass there until you feel like looking at him again. Get him beat stores. We won't beat him up, but we'll beat him to perfection. Leave behind James Brown and pick up James Vanderbeek.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so back to Ferrer. Yeah, I don't know. I said last year that I thought he was going to retire at the end of the season, but
Yeah, me too.
uh, he's still out here doing his thing. He's not doing it nearly as well as he was maybe a few years ago, but I mean, got to make that money. He's still top 50, so he's doing all right, I'm sure.
Yeah, more power to him, I guess.
And um,
Hopefully, he makes the third round at least, because
who would
he
he
would he would
have?
play Tennis Sangren, or I don't know who this other guy is, and I can't even say his name.
Whoops.
whoever this other guy playing Tennis Sangren is, hopefully he's the one that Ferrer is playing.
Okay,
Sangren doesn't deserve to win anything. Oh shit.
amen and amen. I uh, I did write down Ferrer third round for Delpo because Delpo is in this section. So Delpo could possibly have Daminar in the second round and then maybe Ferrer in the third round.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's a good draw for Delpo.
I wrote that down too. I mean, with K being here, he's 5-2 against K. He's 10-2 against Martin Cilic, the 2 seed. He certainly has a losing record against Novak, and Novak won all 3 matches in 2017. But we're not yet speaking of the same Novak, so we don't
Right.
know how he's gonna do or anything like that. And Delpo is playing pretty well right now. Just won a tournament, so.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good section for him too. I could maybe
Back
see him
inside
coming
the
out of
top
here.
10.
Yes. Actually, you know what? He was in the top 10 before last week. I looked and he was like number 9 or something. And I was shocked at that because I was like, did he have like top 10 results at some point and I missed it? But apparently he was already there.
I'm happy for him.
I am too. I just I hope for his continued health and success because he deserves. He's one of the nicest players on tour and one of the most talented players on tour as well. So yeah, I'm hoping for good things for him this year.
I'm looking at Chilch's section here. He should definitely be able to come through this. Like, I don't even see trouble in his way, like at all. Like Cole Schreiber in the third round, I see Chilich handling him. Uh, Isner's not playing very well right now at all.
Who? Mm.
And then you got Mueller and Monfils as well. So, but yeah, I don't see any of these guys troubling Chilich.
They shouldn't. Uh, you know, and but a lot of times in the past he's just troubled himself. To be quite honest, so we'll see what he does as a two seed. That's
True.
new for him.
So who you picking to win this title?
Roger Federer.
Yeah, Federer.
Yeah.
You can't go against him, especially not right now. Like he's the only
No.
person who seems to be, completely healthy and playing even remotely well for real. Like everybody else is either these young guys who can't keep it together, or his contemporaries who are just super injured.
I
He's healthy. He's playing
yeah.
good. Number one, he got it.
I can't even be mad. I mean, he's giving these other guys a lesson, and most of the ladies too, in how to take advantage of your opportunities when they
Yep.
arise. The people who have had his number, the players that have been beating him the last 5 years or so are gone, and he is here, and he's taking all the big titles. And I mean, that's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do. He's letting all the girls know what they should have done, and I can't be that upset about it. He also said that he doesn't think he's gonna catch Serena, so I'm not mad at all now.
Yeah, I heard that. I feel like that's just him running his mouth though, but I hope he's right.
Me too.
Seriously, like maybe he knows something we don't know. Maybe he plan on hanging it up before he gets there.
About to have another set of twins, and then you're gonna have to call it a day with 6 kids or something. I don't know.
Damn.
Back injury. I don't know. He's just so he's never had any really big drastic injuries or anything that would take him out for a prolonged amount of time. And I don't see that happening now. It's like all of a sudden he's just as healthy and as strong as he's ever been.
Yep. It's crazy how the switch flip like that.
That's
Because he wasn't doing very well. Like he wasn't doing poorly, but
he just wasn't.
by
Yeah, he
Roger
wasn't
Federer
winning
standards.
he just wasn't winning the biggest of the titles the way he's accustomed to because there were other players who were doing it instead. And now those other players aren't there.
Right. Djokovic is playing, but he's coming back from injury. Who knows how he's going to look? Ralph is out with his hip injury. Murray is out rehabbing his hip.
Lord, poor Andrew. I'm still Team Murray Hive. I'm waiting for him to come back.
Yeah, said he hopes to be back in May, so I think he wants to come back on the clay, but I think he
Don't
should
do
just wait
that.
till the grass.
Yeah, I agree. Or even the summer hard courts, to be honest. Maybe he can play doubles at Wimbledon or mixed.
They they lose their minds if he can't play singles there.
Yeah, that's true. Which mixed doubles titles does Serena need?
She needs
I know she needs Roland Garros.
in Melbourne, I think.
Oh damn, never mind.
I think.
I think you're right.
No, wait, no, I think she won Rolling Girls, didn't she?
In mixed?
Let me check. I think.
No, that's Venus.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She beat Serena in that final though, right?
Oh damn, I don't
Yeah, the
know.
'98 mixed doubles French Open final. Serena lost that.
To Venus?
Venus, yeah, Venus and
Dang.
what? Who Venus played with? Gimmelstaub? Yeah, it
Yeah, I
was.
think so.
And yeah, she needs Paris and Australia, Serena.
That makes sense because those are the two that she attempted to play about 6 years ago.
Oh yeah.
We won't speak of that though. Um, that's all I have for notes as far as these draws go. I'm calling the two number ones as the champions, so we'll see what happens.
Yep, I'd agree.
Um, okay, so something we want to do um, to stand out a little bit is include our own power rankings, as we call them, at the end of the episodes. So for our power rankings, these are just where we think the tour is right now and what the rankings in our mind actually are as opposed to what the reality is on the rankings list. Um, for me, and speaking of the women first, um, I have Petra as number one for my power rankings. Tough. She had tough losses in Australia, but she's had two titles since then. Also, Fed Cup wins. She's very strong in Fed Cup. And like you said, she's on a 13 match winning streak coming into this. So for me, she's number one in the power rankings. We'll see how she does here.
Yeah,
This could completely take her out of my power rankings by Miami, but we'll
definitely,
see.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd definitely put her as number one as well.
I have Alina Svitolina at number two. Two titles in Brisbane and Dubai. She's playing pretty well. She just killed a few girls a couple days ago in Madison Square Garden. I don't know if her rent was due or what was going on, but she really, really wanted that $250,000. She
For
dropped
real.
she dropped a total of 6 points and three super tiebreakers, and three of them were to Venus. Um, yeah, she said everything was going in. She bageled Coco, so that was pretty glorious to watch. Yeah, so I have her at number two. I think she's doing all right. I personally don't know a lot about her game. I need to watch her more to see what she does that makes her so difficult for a lot of these girls to best.
I've watched her play several times, and I still don't understand it. Like I really don't get it. Like it. She's a good player. She's not a bad player, nothing, anything like that. But it's like it's uninspired. I guess is what I can call it because it nothing about her game screams special or screams number one to me at all. Like I don't see her game holding up the way a top player should. At least if she doesn't continue to add on to it. Like I could see her having the same type of fall off that Bouchard had.
It's funny because when I think about her, I do think about Bouchard, and like in your description of Svitolina, that's the name that was coming to my mind as you were describing Svitolina was Bouchard. Like I feel exactly the same way about her.
Except Alina is obviously just a much better version of that because Jeannie only managed to win one title for all her efforts.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy, right?
But I do remember like her in 2014 when she made the Wimbledon finals, she made those other two slam semifinals, but there was like almost nothing in between those slams.
Yeah, she won what was it? was it Nuremberg, I think, the clay tournament, a small clay tournament that she won. And that was in 2014, during her rise. But after that, there's a whole lot of nothing.
Tragic.
Seriously, I think
Uh,
she made a couple other finals. Yeah, she's won, her record on finals is 1-5, so she's lost four. She lost five finals, so that's not
mm.
very good.
Well, she still has her looks, so. I have Wozniacki at number 3, of course, because she won Australia. She's had some unnecessary losses since then, but I still have her at number 3. She's still, I say unnecessary losses, but she did lose to Petra in
Right.
Doha, so that's still a pretty respectable loss. I do know also because I was watching that match for a little bit that she was well up in that match, and I turned it off, so I don't know if she went off a little bit. I can certainly believe that Petra got hot because that's what she does. So um, either way, that's not a terrible loss.
Yeah, definitely. Let me see. You said, well, see, you put Wozniacki at number 3.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give her that. Yeah, I'll give her that. Slam champ. She'll carry that momentum with her for the rest of the year.
I hope
So,
so. I hope so.
she had the number one ranking for a little bit too. So I'm sure she's still riding high on confidence, even though she lost those couple tournaments in between. But I'm sure she'll be fine.
Right. I have Kerber at number 4. She won Sydney, made the finals. I mean, the semifinals in Australia, and then losses to Wozniacki and Svitolina after that. Those aren't horrible losses. She actually uh, has a pretty bad record against Svitolina, which I didn't realize until they played in Dubai. But Svitolina went on to win that title, so that's not a terrible loss for Kerber. Or maybe it is. I don't know. But I have her at number 4
Yeah,
in my power rankings.
I feel like I think I would put Halep at number 4 just because she's world number 1, and I feel like she'll carry that momentum with her a little bit. I think she proved in Australia that she's done a little bit better with like the pressure and expectations and stuff like that. The way she fought and got out of a lot of those situations. So I think she'll carry, even though she's another person who didn't do too much in between, then and now. I think she'll look back on what she accomplished in Australia, and I think she'll carry that over into these other big events. So I think I would give Halep number 4.
All right, all right. I have her as my number 5. Who do you have as your 5?
Kerber at number 5.
Okay, so we just switched. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, for the men, of course, Roger is number 1. Um, yeah, I don't think we need to discuss that any further.
Yeah.
I have I have Bautista Agut at number 2 actually. He had 2 titles in Auckland and Dubai. Dubai was his first 500 title. Interestingly enough, and there will be um, sort of a pattern with this, but he did lose in the first round in Melbourne. But outside of that, he's actually had an okay year, and he's playing well coming into this event.
Yeah, I would give him that as well. Not very much to choose from
There's
for these
not.
guys because a lot of the guys are injured and they're just there hasn't been very much going on since Australia.
Right. Um, I have Delpo at number 3. He won Acapulco, which is his first 500 title since 2013. Um,
Wow.
Another final in Auckland, uh, and continuing the pattern from Melbourne of early losses. He lost in the third round in Melbourne.
Yeah, I would. I agree with your position on Del Potro. And he's back in the top 10, so yeah,
I hope he can keep it going.
I think he will. This I think the court here is good for him.
Yeah. I have Kevin Anderson at number 4 for winning the New York Open finals in Acapulco and Pune, and confidence from the U.S. Open run last year. Continuing my pattern, he lost first round in Australia.
Damn,
Yep.
Kevin Anderson. Yeah, I have nothing to disagree with there. 'Cause like I said before, there's not much to go on.
No. I have Luca Pui at number 5. He won Montpellier, and then he had finals in Marseille and Dubai. And once again, continuing the pattern, he lost first round in Melbourne.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Federer is
Pretty
really
rough.
the only standout player in the ATP right now.
It's slim pickings for real. And then I know we only have 5, but I am giving an honorable mention to Diego Schwartzman. He's 11-5 on the year and just won the title in Rio. He was very happy about that. So I'm giving him an honorable mention. There's been not that many titles to go around since Melbourne, but they've all gone to different players. Nobody's really mounting any sort of consistency at all. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting event, this tournament.
Yeah, I think so too. Both draws seem like they pretty well balanced for the most part. So I think a lot of it should be pretty routine, at least through to the fourth round.
I agree with that.
So we will see.
All right, well, do you have anything else? Lord, Mary Carrillo's on my screen right now.
No, I'm good. I think we covered everything I needed to say.
All right, me too. So, everyone who's listening, don't forget to follow us on our social media. Our joint Twitter associated with this podcast is at Hold Your Ponytails. It would have been, yeah, we said it, but that was already taken. So I had to get creative. The Twitter handle is at Ya Ponytails. Hold your ponytails. Hold your ponytails. And the ya is only a Y and an A because it's supposed to be shady. So hold your ponytails. My personal Twitter account is at Hey Seti Baby and Donnell.
I'm at I am Nails.
And make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes. Yeah, we said it. So this has been fun. I hope you're back, and I hope we are back for more fun in the future. And thank you for listening.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Peace.